The watered down one, the one you know, was made up centuries ago. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, a rookie named Angela was so upset and so disgruntled that a fellow challenger named Kam sneakily voted her into elimination, leaving her to be banished to the Redemption House. She felt like she had no choice but to tell Kam to fix her wig.
So I just want America to see that that is not the truth.
You, Kam, eat and fix your wig.
You're probably wondering how this story ends. Ah, yes. Let's just say karma is best served crusty. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Angela, and the only thing you really need to know for this video is that if my life were a movie, it would be called A Series of Unfortunate Events. And because I have such bad luck in life, not only have I been able to laugh at my misfortunes, I'm able to be more empathetic and understanding to other people who go through the same things. But unfortunately, the story I'm about to tell you is nothing like that. This was textbook unprofessionalism, start to finish, and I hope we could all learn something from this video because I sure learned a lot. Back to me and Kam. Some of you probably already know this, but ever since our final reckoning incident and the hotel fight that ensued shortly after, me and Kam have not only made up, we have become very, very good friends, and me as her friend, I want to support her business. And if you have been living under a rock, Kam owns her own company called Kam Collection, where she makes customized wigs, and she does an amazing job at it. Go check her out. I will link her website in the description box. Not only did I want to support my friend's business, my colorist has been on maternity leave since August, and I thought this would be a perfect time to give my hair a break from color and bleach and make it so the next time I get color, my hair is healthy and we can do the whole shebang, the whole process, and my hair won't melt off of my head. Kam had also did a quick 30-minute install with a gray wig of hers a few weeks prior. I absolutely loved it and fell in love with wigs instantly, so I knew I was ready to purchase my own. So I texted her a couple of weeks ago and I told her the color wig I was interested in, which was black, and she helped me pick out the type as well as the length, and we agreed on a 24-inch HD black lace front wig. And honestly, she made the wig so quick, I feel like I blinked and she was already talking about an install, so I was really, really happy about that. Kam also knew I was very, very new to the wig game. I really didn't know much about wigs or installs or anything like that, so she wanted to walk me through the entire process to make sure that my first wig install was not only professionally done, but it was a pleasant experience for me. Now, Kam does do installs and she's very, very good at them, but she doesn't do them full time, and she really wanted me to have that celebrity experience with a celebrity stylist. And I'm gonna use air quotes a lot in this video because what I got was not a celebrity experience. Also, Kam lives pretty far away from me, so me going to her every time I wanted a wig install was just unrealistic, and she wanted to set me up with someone who was not only really, really good, but also local, so I can go to them as I needed. So Kam was actually nice enough to not only help me with the process of choosing the right wig for me, but Kam went as far as to research stylists that were local to me and found this person, and this celebrity stylist had over 20,000 followers on Instagram. She had a pretty solid following for what she did, and she was attached to very large names and females who were known for wearing wigs. So I was like, who is better than that? Kam checked out her work, I checked out her work, and we agreed that this is who I wanted. So Kam hit the girl up and she asked for her rates, and the stylist quoted that it would be $325 with a $55 deposit. Now, I checked the girl's work, she looked legit. I checked her website and her normal deposit was $25, so I thought it was kind of weird that she was charging me more than double, but I really didn't ask any questions. Kam thought that the price was fair, especially with the girl's following and who she was known for styling, so I was like, let's go ahead, let's do it, and we booked the appointment for that Saturday. Mind you, I sent in my deposit right away. I did not wait. I wanted to get the appointment booked. It was a last minute appointment, so I was just grateful she was able to squeeze me in, or so I thought. So Kam not only booked the appointment for me, she said that she would go with me to make sure everything went smoothly because again, I am very, very new to wigs, and if I had any questions along the way, Kam would be sitting right there to monitor the whole process and to make sure I was as comfortable as possible. So Saturday rolls around, it's 5:30 in the morning, I'm up, I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, I get ready, I do my makeup because not only am I getting my wig installed, me and Kam were gonna make a day out of it, we were gonna get some content done. I don't see her that often because of how far she lives, so we really just wanted to like have a girl's day, you know? So I left my house at 7 a.m. to meet Kam at her Airbnb, and we would leave from there to go to the salon in Brooklyn where this stylist worked out of. And we wound up getting there really, really early. We wanted to make sure that we weren't late because according to the stylist website, she gives a 20-minute grace period before she charges a $35 late fee. And I wasn't trying to catch any more fees here. I'm already spending an arm and a leg for this service. So I was like, I'm gonna be there on time. Plus, I wanted to get the wig on. I was ready to have black hair, you know, I'm excited, right? So we pull up at 8:34 a.m. and I remember the time specifically because obviously I was really excited. And we looked over at the salon and it was completely dark. And we're like, okay, well, we're early. They're not even open yet. So let's just hang out in the car a little bit. We had our little girl talk, and then 9 o'clock rolls around. Still nobody's at the salon. 9:05 hits, 9:10, 9:15. Finally at 9:20 we were like, okay, we have to hit up this girl. She's 20 minutes late. I'm this close to charging her late fee, so let's see where she's at. And luckily her phone number was on her Instagram. I had no communication with the stylist other than me sending in the deposit. Kam handled everything for me, so Kam called the girl herself and asked her where she was because we had been at the salon for almost an hour. So Kam has this girl on speaker, and you could clearly hear that this girl had just woken up. Like, Kam had disrupted her slumber. At first you could definitely hear that she was so confused, she had no idea what was going on, and then suddenly it clicked that she had an appointment and she had to be there. So she was like, okay, I'm down the street, I'll be there in a minute. As soon as Kam got off the phone with her, we looked at each other like, oh my god, this girl literally just woke up. What if we took an Uber here? What if we were waiting outside? Like, mind you, we are in New York right now. It is November. It is cold. We would have been waiting outside for damn near an hour. I was just grateful that we had driven. 15 more minutes pass. It is now 9:35 and we finally see somebody pull up and open the door. And at first I did not recognize her because she looked so disheveled, but it was the stylist. I was just excited that she was finally there, that she didn't blow me off, and that I was about to get my install. However, I don't know whether she wore her PJs to work or she just picked up the dirtiest clothes she could find off the floor because she looked a hot mess and she smelled even worse. She had this like dirty mop water stench about her, and when you're working this close to a client, it's not only unprofessional, it's just inconsiderate to my nostrils. I was just, every time she walked past me and I caught a whiff, like it was disgusting. But again, I'm still really excited to be getting my first wig installed, and we walk into the salon and the place is an absolute disaster. I mean, dirty. The garbage is overflowing. There's hair everywhere. She puts this robe on me that has these sticky patches of, it must have been either hair glue or gel, but attached to it was other people's hair. Every time I looked down, I wanted to throw up on myself. Not only did I notice the mess, the stylist herself noticed the mess and kept on talking about it, because I mean, like,
oh my gosh, the shop is disgusting, I left it a mess.
It's like, girl, like if I were you, I would not be bringing more attention to this pigsty. Like, this is disgusting. But still, like I said, I'm very, very nice and understanding to people. We all have our off days. I have them literally every other day, so I get it, and I try to remain as positive as possible. I was still very, very nice and friendly, did not scold her for being late. As a matter of fact, she didn't even apologize for being late. She actually blamed me and Kam for being so late. She was like,
you should have called me. Why didn't you call me earlier? You should have called me.
And the last time I checked my vagina, I never birthed a child. So I am not responsible for waking anybody up, let alone a 23-year-old. Like, it's just not gonna happen. So, and normally I would be sipping tea for this video, but this stylist literally drained the life out of me, so I need all the coffee I can get. Believe it or not, everything up until this point would not warrant me to be speaking out like this and doing an entire video on it. It's pretty much everything that happened from here on that is the reason I am sitting here today. So she starts on my hair and she keeps on complaining how tired she is, how much she doesn't want to be there, how she has a date later on that night and now she's not going to have time to do her own wig or her makeup or anything like that. So I asked her, like, why are you working today if you have all of this going on? She's like,
girl, you pay the weekend rate. You think you'd have to pay this during the week? Like, no, like if the bag is right, I'm here.
I'm just like, you know what, girl, get your coin. Like, I agree for this amount. I just had no idea that she had a weekend rate. And for her to have a weekend rate and show up so late and tired and just out of it, not only am I paying full price, I am paying a premium for a service that frankly just isn't worth it for me, but just wait for it. She keeps on talking about how tired she is, and even Kam had closed her eyes for like 5 or 10 minutes. She had a long night herself. She was dealing with some stuff at her Airbnb, and the stylist looks over at her and is like,
she is a mood. I wish I was sleeping right now.
And because I didn't want to let her tiredness affect her work, I kept on reminding her that this was my first wig install. I was so excited to be there, and honestly I was just trying to keep her awake because at this point she was damn near drooling on me, falling asleep. So I wanted to make sure that she was putting her best foot forward and giving me the best install she could possibly give. I just feel like the appointment got progressively worse as the hours passed. Mind you, I thought that a wig install would take 30 minutes, just like Kam's first install on me took, but Kam warned me going into this, like, no, it's gonna take like 2 hours. You're gonna be there for a minute. The wig has to be customized to your head and to your hairline and be plucked and styled and all that. So I knew that it would take a while, but I was not prepared for it to take 4 hours. But it definitely wouldn't have taken 4 hours if she didn't take as many breaks, because she was just so tired. Like, you could literally see her eyes closing and then she'd be like,
you know, I need a break right now. I need a break.
But now is when it started to get disrespectful, because as I am sitting in the chair and she is working on me, she looks over at Kam and she's like,
why are you staring at me? This is so awkward. Like, this is why I don't allow guests in the shop.
And Kam is like, oh, you know, I'm just really interested. You're doing such a good job. Like, really gassing the girl up and complimenting her work. But she was just like,
no, you really just can't stare at me.
And then she proceeds to move my chair and put my back towards Kam. Mind you, Kam is there to make sure that everything goes smoothly for me, that her wig doesn't get butchered, and that I am as comfortable as possible. So when the stylist does this, I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, like, there is no need for that. But she just keeps on going off like,
yeah, I hate that. That is so awkward. Like, can't you watch anything else?
And Kam just brushes it off, because at this point me and Kam are being more professional than this stylist is herself, and we're not even on the clock, okay? That is just so beyond me. The stylist continues being rude and grouchy, and I'm still killing her with kindness because I know what it's like to have a rough night, even though I am pretty angry that her rough night was the morning before my appointment. But then the owner walks in, and frankly I didn't even know she was the owner because she didn't introduce herself. She didn't say good morning to me or Kam. She just kind of like dragged herself in there and started working. And it literally took an hour for us to realize that she was the owner, because that's when she finally started talking to us, and she had mentioned that Kam was on TV. And then all of a sudden my stylist wanted to change her tune. Her ears perked up. She got really excited. That is when the stylist suddenly needed to take a bathroom break, and it was very obvious to both me and Kam that she went to the bathroom to look at our Instagrams, because when she came out she literally had her phone in her hand. She had a picture of me in the gray wig talking about how great I look in wigs and how much she wants to collab with me and Kam. She said that she would offer us free color services and all we would have to do is pay for the install. And just as a side note, when it comes to collabs and services, the most an influencer pays for is the materials, and then the service is free. Every collab is different, but that's the general rule of thumb. So it was in that moment that I knew that this girl had no idea what she was doing when it came to collabs, but we're not even there yet. So now that she realizes that me and Kam had been on a few shows and that we have a large following, she decides to get really nice. She puts a little pep in her step. I could really feel like she was paying more attention to me and my wig install, and that's what really pissed me off. It's like, you're gonna treat anybody else that walks through the door with disrespect and nastiness and just acting like you don't want to be there, but then as soon as you find out I did a few shows and I have a verified check next to my name, now you want to work hard. Like, my money works the same just as anybody else's. I'm still paying full price for my service. That's just one of my biggest pet peeves, being a public figure or even somebody with a large following, because I just don't like that. I want to be treated like everybody else. So from here on, she's much friendlier, much nicer, and she finishes my wig install. I have a scarf around my edges, so I really don't see the install just yet, but she asks me if I want to go fix my makeup, and I just kind of thought that like she's just looking out for me because she knows that me and Kam, we're gonna be shooting shooting content that day. We had mentioned it briefly in one of our conversations that I was having with her to try to keep her awake. So I grabbed my bag, I fixed up my makeup, and before I even get a chance to sit back in the chair, she whips out a ring light and begins to set up her phone to take photos. Kam looks over at me and she's like, "Are you sure you're cool with this?" Because she knows that I am very weird when it comes to services and having photos taken of me, not only as an influencer, but just as a regular person, because I don't want any photos out there of me looking crazy, especially at the hair salon. Like, I'm really just there to be pampered. I'm not there for a photo shoot, you know? But in my head, I just thought, if I take these pictures and Kam is gonna be tagged in them as well, and if she gets one customer from being tagged in these photos, and this is worth it, that's just another way for me to support my friend's business. So Kam asked the stylist as she's setting up the camera, like, "Are you going to tag me in these photos?" And the stylist goes,
"No, we don't have a contract. I'm not doing that."
And then I was like, well, then I don't want my photos taken, because now it's a conflict of interest. I understand that you want to take photos of your work to show future clients, but when it becomes a conflict of interest with my friend where you also sell hair and it's going to look like that's your hair, when it comes to hurting my friend's business, she takes priority over you. Like, I don't know you like that. So I kindly opted out of the photos. And when I say kindly, I was like, no, thank you. Like, I just don't feel comfortable doing this. But thank you though. Like, you know, very, very nice about it. If I thought she was being nasty before, this is when she absolutely lost it. She starts going in on Kam saying,
"Oh, well, she was fine with taking the photos before you said anything."
And Kam was like, "I have nothing to do with that. Like, if she doesn't want the photos taken, she doesn't want the photos taken. And frankly, whether I'm an influencer or not, I am not required to take photos. That's not part of your hair services." I have kindly declined photos in the past, even before I was even on TV and I had no following. Like, just sometimes I don't feel like having photos taken of me. She was not having any of that. I was just like, oh my God, get me out of this chair. I want to leave. I was just ready to pay and get out of there. And when I got up and the scarf was taken off of me, I was so happy that I didn't take the photos, because her install on me looked absolutely crazy. She had caked on the glue so much to the lace that it got to the point where the lace was ruffling up and there were ridges in my scalp. I turned to Kam and I was like, "Look, is this normal, Kam? I don't think this is normal. Yours does not have this." And she's just like, "I don't know, like, I can't really tell in this lighting. We'll have to go outside." I was like, you know what? Forget it. Let me just pay for this and get out of here, because at this point the stylist is getting angrier by the second as we're sitting in the shop, and I just wanted to leave. Like, I felt so uncomfortable. This was not a relaxing, pampering day. I did not feel like I was treated like a celeb. Like, this was absolutely miserable. I figure out the balance that I owed the stylist. I turn to her and I say, "Hey, like, I'm gonna sell you the rest of the payment." And she goes,
"No, it's cash only."
So I have to run across the street and Kam waits for me in the shop. I tried to hurry as fast as I could because I knew how uncomfortable Kam was. And sure enough, by the time I got back to the salon, they were going at it to the point where they were almost throwing hands. And the only other time I had even seen Kam remotely this angry was when we almost fought in the hotel. Like, Kam does not get angry. It takes a lot for her to react. So the fact that she was just sitting there like ready to take on everybody in the shop, I was like, oh my God, let me just throw the money at this girl and get out of here. I had walked in as the owner was saying like,
"Oh, I see both sides."
and it's just like, there are no both sides to this. I am a full price paying customer who, regardless of what's going on or the tags and this and that, I can decline to have my photo taken. And that's just that. Like, that's what it comes down to. If taking photos is required as a part of the service, then you need to write that in your 10-page novel that you have on your website, talking about all these rules that you yourself don't even follow, Miss 35 minutes late. Well, should I deduct a late fee from you too? Like, hello. Basically, the stylist argument was that she does not have a contract with Kam and that tagging Kam's hair company was not included in the hair services, and she is absolutely right. Just like you can decline to tag the hair company, I can decline to take the photos. Now, I want to make it very clear that I am all about supporting young entrepreneurs, especially young women who are out there hustling, doing something with their lives, working really, really hard. But what I will not do is attach my name and my likeness by taking photos for a service that frankly I was just not happy with, and the service itself was not up to par. Not only that, if it negatively affects my friend's business in some way, or you're going to take credit for something that you did not do, count me out completely. I am not about it. Good luck to you. I will just make this exchange. I will pay for my service and move on with my day. The funny part in all of this is that if the stylist tagged Kam, it would have benefited the stylist more than it would have benefited me and Kam Kam combined. We have very, very large followings. Like, are you stuck on stupid? Or are you stuck on dumb? Like, you are really dumb for real. You're not doing me any favors by tagging me. I just want you to know. And honestly, because of her comment with like the color and how she thought a collab worked, I wanted to take her under my wing and really show her the ropes behind collabs, because she does have a lot of potential. I just think that her cockiness and her arrogance and her entitlement is really gonna get in her way, and she's gonna wind up blocking her own blessings. Because if I had that kind of nasty attitude at 20K followers, I would not be where I'm at today. Period. And even though I was thinking all of this in this moment, I just wanted to get the hell out of that salon and be on with my day. I had already spent more time in there than I had wanted, so I was just ready to leave. I give her the money, I say thank you for your service. Me and Kam gracefully leave the shop, and we thought it was over there. Like, finally, we are gone. We don't have to deal with that anymore. We are done with this. Let's go get some lunch. And if you thought that the unprofessionalism ended there, you would be very wrong, man. Very wrong. We hadn't even been gone from the shop for 30 seconds before we realized that this stylist had unfollowed us both. And I really could not care less about that. I don't need your dusty, musty, crusty follow. I really just don't. As a matter of fact, I don't want to be attached to you in any way whatsoever. So I was totally cool with that. Me and Kam just laughed it off and continued on our way to the sushi place. When we got to the sushi place, the hostess sat us down next to a window so Kam could really see the absolutely horrific job that this stylist did on my install. And there are clearly ridges and lumps and bumps in the lace that should not be there. Kam explained to me that lace is supposed to be an illusion. It's supposed to look like skin as much as possible, but at the end of the day, it is not skin. And the stylist's job is to create as much of an illusion as possible, and who creates the best illusion. The only illusion that this girl created was that she was a celebrity stylist, because that she is not. Not only did I not feel like a celebrity, I did not get the celebrity experience or the celebrity wig install. I got absolutely none of that. And as we are sitting there debating on whether or not we wanted to send these photos to the stylist just to let her know like whatever she did was just not working, and to maybe not do that on her next client, as soon as we went on this girl's Instagram, we saw that she had posted a story about what had just happened. Let me read it to you.
Anyone who comes sit in my chair and wants to collaborate with me or tag their company, let me know your intentions beforehand. Don't assume or expect me to do shit. You come for a service, I'll showcase my work, and that's that. Tagging your hair company isn't obligated and not included in my hair services.
First of all, Saweetie, the only person whose ass was in your chair was mine, and I was paying full price. This was not a collab. I do not have a hair company. I am a full price paying customer. As a matter of fact, I paid a premium to sit my ass in that chair that day. And I could decline having my photo taken, period. That's just that on that. So I responded to her story and pretty much just told her that in the kindest way possible. I said, okay girl, let me just tell you, I am a paying customer and I can choose if I want my photo taken, and that's on period. Plus, is it normal for my install to look like this? And I sent her the photo. I understand you're young, but you have a lot to learn. I hope you take this as a teachable moment and keep it moving. I also hit her with the God bless. Kam also replied to this story and said, if a client doesn't want their picture taken and it's not a collab, they have all rights to decline being on camera. As I said, it's no beef or problem. Clearly, you have a problem. Thanks for your services that weren't up to standards. God bless. And she sent her the same photo. Frankly, I did not expect or even want a reply. I just wanted her to know that her work was not up to my standards, Kam's standards, or anybody's standards, and the services that she provided today were completely unprofessional and basically just to learn from the experience. But of course, she did reply, saying,
why are you messaging me? I'm confused. Go about your day. I can post whatever the I want to post.
Very true, and I can decline whatever I want to decline if it's not part of our contract or deal, especially one that we did not have. She then replies to Kam's message, and I found it very funny that she replied this way, because Kam cannot fix her mouth to say a curse word. Kam does not cuss. She could not cuss if she wanted to. She says to Kam,
shut the up. First off, if I took a video, I would have shown that's how it looked when she left. Not.
Why on earth would I spend $325 of my hard-earned money just to leave the salon and mess it up? Help me make that make sense, because frankly, the experience alone was enough for me to never book with her ever again. As a matter of fact, it was enough for me to never recommend her to my worst enemies, even if the wig install was absolutely flawless. I did not need to sabotage my own install just to throw dirt on her name when she did that herself all day long. So as we were sitting there at sushi, me and Cam were just kind of laughing this off. We could not believe the day that we were having. So we decided to take a second look at the Stylist Instagram account. We were just kind of like, how did we get fooled by this girl? But by the time we went to go look, she had blocked us both, which was such a shame, but I have a million other Instagram accounts. So I was able to get back on her page and really investigate the work that she had been posting. And unfortunately, upon further inspection, I noticed that a lot of her videos had filters over them. A lot of them were taken further back. A lot of her photos were clearly edited with Facetune, and that's when I knew that I up. And the next time I do my research to find somebody to install a wig, I will definitely take that into consideration, really looking at their videos, zooming in, making sure that there's no filters or any blurriness going on, because sis had a lot of that. It was just so crazy to me because me and Cam were wearing the same exact hair. She had gone to a different installer the night prior and she had a flawless application. I am going to put side-by-side photos right here for you guys to see. You guys be the judge. So it had nothing to do with the hair itself. It just goes to show that stylists matter. And maybe the stylist is very good on every other day, but that was not my experience that day. And if she's going to charge a weekend rate and have me pay a premium, then I have a certain expectation as far as the service being provided to me that we're clearly not up to par in this situation. And I also learned that Cam needs to start doing hair. Period. She needs to start offering it as part of her Cam collection services, because as soon as we got back to Cam's Airbnb, she was able to fix the stylist mistake. It took Cam maybe 5 minutes to correct the stylist mistake, which thank God for that, but I should not be having to fix anything after spending that kind of money and that kind of time on a service. That's just completely ridiculous. Needless to say, I will continue purchasing from Cam collection. I think her quality is absolutely unmatched, which is like, one thing that really got me that the stylist said when she said that she would not be tagging Cam was that she did not know the quality of Cam's hair. And it's like, girl, you just spent 4 hours not only installing it, but adding heat to it, styling it. The hair did not melt, the hair did not crunch, the hair did not do anything it wasn't supposed to do. Like, you know the quality of the hair. You are just being a flat out hater. And that's really gonna hold you back in life and in your business, unfortunately. I mean, good luck with that. I will definitely be using Cam collection in the future, so stay on the lookout for that. Like I said, all of her info will be located down below. Just finding somebody to install. If you have any recommendations, leave those in the comments below as well. Please, please. Well, now that that nightmare is over with, I can continue on with my life. Hopefully you guys learned a lot from this video, because I sure didn't. Frankly, I am tired, sis. I'm tired. But before I go, I have to give my Angela Army a shout out. Today's shout out goes to Rad Kangaroo. I see you commenting on all of my videos. Thank you so much for your love and support. And if you want to be a part of the Angela Alert Army, all you have to do is be subscribed to my channel and click the little notification bell so you can be alerted every time I post a new video. Once you do that, comment Angela Alert Army down below so I know you've completed the above steps and you can get shouted out in my next video. But that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.